Whenever a major storm or a grid failure is announced, the exact same panic sequence happens. Millions of people rush to the nearest big box store, fighting over overpriced, crinkly plastic cases of bottled water. They load up their carts, thinking they've secured their family's survival. They haven't. They've just wasted their money on a mathematically flawed strategy that will run dry in less than 4 days. But what if I told you that right now, sitting quietly in your home, is a massive, filtered, and pressurized reservoir holding up to 50 gallons of perfectly safe drinking water? You don't need to buy it. You don't need to build it. You just need to know how to unlock it. Today, we are exposing the ultimate hidden survival resource inside your house, and the one critical mistake that could accidentally turn that clean water toxic. When the emergency broadcast system goes off, human logic shuts down and herd mentality takes over. The very first thing that vanishes from supermarket shelves is bottled water. People will wait in line for hours to buy 3 cases of water, completely convinced they have secured their household. But let's look at the brutal mathematics of survival. The absolute minimum requirement is 1 gallon of water per person per day, just for drinking and basic hygiene. If you have a family of 4 and the grid goes down for a week, you need 28 gallons of water. A standard case of 24 plastic water bottles contains barely over 3 gallons. To survive a single week, you would need to buy, transport, and store nearly 10 of these heavy cases. It clutters your house, it degrades in the sunlight, and it runs out incredibly fast. But here is the secret the preparedness community understands. True resilience isn't about hoarding plastic. It is about utilizing the infrastructure that is already built into your home's foundation. Walk into your basement, your garage, or your utility closet. Sitting right there is a massive, insulated stainless steel thermos, your hot water heater. Most modern American homes are equipped with a hot water tank that holds anywhere from 40 to 80 gallons of municipal-grade purified water. Because this water is constantly cycling through your home every time you take a shower or wash your hands, it is continuously refreshed. It doesn't stagnate. It doesn't grow algae. It is perfectly safe to consume. When the power goes out, the heating element stops working, but the water inside that tank does not magically disappear. It sits there, holding up to a week's worth of hydration for an entire family. You do not need to fight crowds at the grocery store. You already own the water. You just need to know how to safely extract it. However, there is a deadly trap here. If the city loses power, the municipal water pumps fail. When those massive city pipes lose their pressure, a vacuum effect is created. Any cracks in the underground city pipes will begin sucking in contaminated groundwater, raw sewage, and chemical runoff. If you leave your hot water heater connected to the main city line, that contaminated water can backflow directly into your pristine tank, ruining your entire supply. Listen to me carefully. The absolute first thing you must do the moment the grid goes completely dark is walk to your water heater and physically turn off the cold water intake valve. By shutting this valve, you sever your home's connection to the dying municipal grid. You have just isolated and quarantined your 50 gallons of clean water, turning your heater into an impenetrable, sealed survival cistern. Now that your supply is protected, how do you get it out? Every hot water heater has a drain valve located at the very bottom. You can attach a standard, clean garden hose directly to these threads. But remember, the tank is essentially a giant vacuum right now. To let the water flow out of the bottom, you have to let air in through the top. Simply go to the highest floor in your house and open a hot water faucet. This breaks the vacuum seal and allows gravity to push the water out of your basement tank. A quick warning, the very bottom of a water heater collects natural calcium and mineral sediment over the years. The first pitcher of water you drain might look milky or have small white flakes in it. Do not panic. This is completely harmless. Just let the pitcher sit for 10 minutes. The sediment will sink to the bottom, and you can pour the crystal clear water off the top. If you want to graduate from basic survival to advanced homesteading, there is a brilliant engineering hack used by top-tier preppers to double their water supply without taking up valuable closet space. It is called the Inline Cold Water Tank. Instead of buying plastic barrels that require chemical treatments to stop algae growth, you purchase a second, standard 80-gallon water heater tank. But you don't plug it in. Instead, you plumb it directly into your primary cold water line. Every time you turn on the cold water in your kitchen sink, the water flows through this holding tank first. This means the 80 gallons of water inside is being automatically refreshed and cycled every single day by your normal daily living. It requires zero maintenance. But when the grid fails, you instantly have 80 gallons in your hot tank and another 80 gallons in your cold tank. You have just secured 160 gallons of perfectly fresh water entirely hidden in plain sight. Now that you have your water secured, we must talk about how you spend it. When the grid fails, modern plumbing fails with it. Human instinct is to take a bucket of your precious drinking water and use it to manually flush the toilet. This is one of the most catastrophic survival mistakes you can make. An average toilet requires almost 2 gallons of water to flush properly. If you flush the toilet 3 times a day, you are literally throwing 6 days' worth of life-saving hydration down the sewer. Do you really want to risk dying of dehydration because you wanted the luxury of a flushing porcelain bowl? Absolutely not. When the water stops flowing, the toilets stop flushing. Period. You must pivot immediately to a dry waste system. Advanced preparedness experts use dedicated camping porta potties. But if you don't have one, you can easily convert your existing toilet. Turn off the water valve behind the toilet and flush it one last time to empty the bowl. Then, line the bowl with 2 heavy-duty, thick contractor trash bags. After every use, you cover the waste with a layer of dry material like wood shavings, sawdust, or even cheap kitty litter. This completely absorbs moisture, neutralizes odors, and prevents the spread of bacteria. When the bag is full, you seal it tightly and store it outside away from the house. By managing sanitation biologically instead of mechanically, you save 100% of your water for keeping your family alive. Finally, preserving your resources requires the right energy. In a prolonged blackout, you will need to boil water, cook dry goods like rice and beans, and keep your communication devices charged. Do not rely on loud, heavy gas generators that scream to the entire neighborhood that you have supplies. Instead, invest in a lithium iron phosphate power station. Notice I said lithium iron, not ion. These modern silent solar generators can safely sit right on your kitchen counter. Combined with a few solar panels, you can run a small electric kettle, a hot plate, and medical devices indefinitely. You separate your survival from a fragile fuel economy and connect it to infinite solar physics. Survival isn't about the gear you buy, it is about the systems you understand. Let's recap the exact protocol you will execute the minute the lights drop. Step 1. Immediately locate your hot water heater and shut off the cold water intake valve to prevent municipal contamination. Step 2. Open a faucet on the top floor to break the vacuum seal. Step 3. Drain your water safely from the bottom spigot, allowing the harmless sediment to settle. Step 4. Seal your toilets and switch to a dry waste bag system to preserve your hydration. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the inline cold water tank is the ultimate hidden survival hack? Or do you have a different method for storing bulk water? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to ensure your family knows exactly what valves to turn when the panic starts, I have created a printable grid-down water protocol checklist. Download it for free using the link in the pinned comment. Stop panic buying, start building systems, and thanks for watching.